Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back to Pxy-VERSE. So I've made a new schedule here, but it's still today I didn't start in the right moment. I apologize for the delay in starting the stream, but I was making a post regarding rigging developments maybe for Blender. So anyways, let's continue here. Dorothy, this original character of mine. So this is the main character of the sci-fi, well, it's a fantasy world also universe, but in this case is the version for sci-fi, at least regarding the clothes. So I have some costumes here. So this is kind of cool about making characters in, like, this is a former costume that I was doing, but I wasn't very satisfied. But maybe, so I've decided to make an alternate. So this will be like a, okay, this will be like more a space agent uniform. Still not ended in terms of details, and this will be more like a space marine's suit. Yeah, so something like more action. So I thought it would be nice. So space agent here, but okay, this is there will be fantasy, which is, yeah, this was a long time before I had to fix it. There are some transparency in some leggings and stuff like that, unconcluded. So I have 3 costumes here. This one really I don't need to touch. This one also not be necessary right now. I want this one, yeah. So it's more some hard surface thing, but this probably can bend in some ways. Often happens in cartoons, right? So I've made a list for sorry, I'm eating something here, just a snack. So to improve my performance in the live stream, so I want to boost that production, because this is the main character and I need to conclude her to start some, or would be nice to if I could start making some 3D animations with her, directly with her. So I need to access the bones. Let's see what I have here. Helper rig adaptation. Oh yeah, so this will be a good one. The helper rig, she already has got plenty of helper rig. Yeah, she has got plenty. It's not working because this panel is work in progress, but the helper rig would be here. So all the helper rig is already present, not for the face, but the face is a different setup. So we've got tons of stuff here, and what you can see here are some smoother helper bones. I call them that, the smoother bendy bone splines helper bones. So these structures on the joints, even here we could use, but here I wasn't very successful. But maybe in this approach with wave paint layering that occurring from the mesh topology here and the positioning of the bones, then this could be rendered better. Besides, I have other helper system there. Yeah, so I have the fan and fanny bones. Here I'm using fanny bones, these ones. Actually, they don't need to make this circular thing. Basically, this is meant for automation. So you can sort of have different, because the anatomy is not symmetric on the thigh near the joint of the hip. So yeah, the anatomy, it's all different. You have the gluteus on the back side, the hip bones and thigh bone structures, skin, tissues that might pop up on the side. We have the inner side where the groin, the crotch. Then we have also the pubis and the front of. So it's all complicated, and not even talk about muscles here. So just to get good shapes for a stylized character, this can be super complicated. So just using a derotator bone like a fan bone is not sufficient to, because the human body is not like that. So yeah, someone asked me on the chat yesterday, right? Sorry, I don't remember his name right now. If he shows up, I'll remember. It was a different name from what I'm used to, so I don't know which culture, but I would remember if I see. And he asked about the possibility of showing some fan bones for the shoulder region, and I just ended up thinking about that. Yes, we could have a system of fanny bones, just like we have here, this cyclic thing, besides the fan bone here, and the dual fan bone, because this is pointing in one direction. Where's the other? I don't see it. Oh, they are here. Okay, this is the dual fan bone. This is the old. We have two historically different setups here, but this is the same as this. This is a fan bone, and this will be the fanny bone. So this have more variations. They follow the fan bone, which could be in this case a deformed bone or not, because this will derotate the mesh on the joint upper thigh in exactly this region, as the thigh rotate. Bend, the leg bends, the leg goes up, and I don't have the rig right now functioning, so yeah, can't even test. But we could have this same setup, similar setup actually, working for the shoulder. So we could have like a tweak bone here, or a handle, whatever, control a deformed bone here for the top, a helper bone for the front, a helper bone for the back, a helper bone for the armpit, and maybe more than one, but let's simplify just in 4 orientations, right? One for each and part, because none of them are really symmetrical. Just maybe the back side and the front are slightly symmetric. So this is the anatomical problem of rigging that. So this is why one reasons why this kind of simple system, even if we had a good perfect skinning method, just the rotation of the thigh bone in relation to the hip bone wouldn't be sufficient to have good shapes, anatomically good shapes, because the anatomy is not symmetric. It's not just a bone, so you have to structure a system. So this is why we need some sort of leverage for the skin tissues, the bone tissues, all those things. And so here we have this leverage system here. Yeah, leverage hip, leverage gluteus, leverage belly. Yeah, all of this because of the... So this is a way to mimic nature somewhat. It's not perfect, but it sort of helps in an abstract way, sort of getting the stuff, those tissues move in sync. And we can't achieve this with just a rotation of a joint. That's ridiculous. This is our wrong thinking. Of course, this doesn't mean there is no problems with the skinning method. Of course there is. It's junkyard. It is like Stone Age skinning method that we are using here. So it's conventional in the industry, so it's bullshit, right? So where is the base scientific research, right? Where is the base research for those things? Of course it exists, but it is not being pushed to the extremes. There's not enough resources. I think there's too much blindness. Everyone is is already trying to survive. Most people are just trying to survive, so it's really nothing to complain too much about. Like, it's just my point of view, but it's kind of bizarre, right? So anyways, um, let's get here into, so yes, we could try to, as I'm gonna reach for the skinning, the waves, not today probably, but there's some point we'll address the waves here, wave strength, and then we can try attempt some stuff here for the shoulder. So that will be, it's a good proposition. I think I can do that. There's already a dual fan system here. I can retest this. I think it will work fine, but we can improve that and see if that can help even more. Because I'm using dual, the not dual coturn skinning, linear blend skinning method, and the rest position of the character is a T pose and not some X pose like Vitruvian Man from Da Vinci. Nothing good as that for natural, better deforms for the deform rig. So I'm not using that approach. It's too complicated, and we need to change the rest position, and this can fuck up a lot of stuff, but it is perfectly feasible. But yeah, it's not gonna bother. So in this case I'm using linear blend skinning, and then it's much harder from a T-pose anyways to get the good deform. So it's likely that something like that might be necessary in the end, just for some details. Although here we have these automations here, which we're gonna address later. So okay, so what I think I'm gonna do first, helper rig adaptation. Yeah, so I think this is more logical. Let's attempt this. So I'm gonna bring those yeah, so what I'm going to attempt here is reposition this this bone. So hopefully, thankfully, last time I was dealing with that, I've made a separation of the bone layers, right? And so I can easily readapt these bones here. So what is this? This is for, yeah, completely displaced. So doesn't matter. We can use the joints of the control skeleton here. I'm gonna pick this. Make sure we are using we don't see the name here, but it's x-axis mirror. So because we have always bother me that this doesn't show the name of the option. Yeah, it's missing. It's missing. I need to make a report about that. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I need not this. Then we're gonna target vertex group, snap target, and just the armature object. I'm gonna snap it there, and let's see this alignment. So here, so this we want to align with the hand. So the hand is in the skeleton. We can just get this one and align here. There we go. Oh, but it is inverted. Ah, I see. So the hand pointing up. No. We want to invert this. So I'm gonna make this align with the back, yeah, downward, totally downward, just as these ones. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna then align this with here. Also, I'm going to get I need to go back some steps here because I want to make sure, yeah, it was pointing down, right? Indeed, it was pointing down. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so this is parented to the, let's hide this thing for now. Parent to the handle forearm, but it could just be parented to the, oh no, this is the deaf hand, sorry. We need this one, so this is the funny bone for the wrist, right? Wrist, but in the side of the hand, and this is the wrist from the side of the lower arm. So how to make those things appear in some way that, yeah, it's somewhat hard, but I'm gonna do something like that. What about this can, why not? Maybe this is a good idea after all. Okay, we're just trying to differentiate them, and also by color. I think those colors are very bad, so I want for the helper bones to have a special color. Let's give them some orange, because yeah, this might be okay. So I know that they are special bones, right? Okay, so also let's shift X here and select mirror extend. Let's reapply this. Since we have this as helper, what I'm doing, let's just pick the helper, all of them. No, not all of them, just some of them. Yeah, so there are a lot of them. Okay, I want just the fan bones to have this kind of color. So here we're going to get this and this here, and also here, and there we go. Now yes, we bring this color. And for these ones, these other helper bones, maybe use this other color, why not? We're gonna select by color. Let's see what happens. Yes, that seems good. This is a mechanism boob. This could be a physics bone. Yeah, I don't remember the structure, but I know that it works. It's just that should work. So here we handle leverage. That seems to be a newer one. What is this? This is a helper fanny. I'm confused. Looks like we have. Okay, we have. I see. These are. Yeah, we have indeed some extra wrongly placed bones here. Oh, actually, these are the handles. Yeah. Okay, so I'm using this for the handles, so I need to change this back to the handles. This is a good way to make them very differentiated, right? So here I don't like this because they have the same color as the handle. This is bad. So instead This looks like I'm missing something. Anyways, let's bring them to the fan. And this also will intake this color here, and this will intake this one. Alright, I'll make it small because there are a lot of head bones to handle, so that will be nice. The positioning of this I'll do later. This is the last. First I want to make sure I have the good positioning for these ones. Alright, so some things are not good here, so it's just we need to change these ones. This is a mechanism, yeah, so okay, we can already Ctrl F to this B, strip characters, hold shift, there we go. This helper boob, I think it's yeah, they don't need that. Only here the scapula, but maybe we can change this to 2 to 1 and this 3 to 2. I'd like to have other name for that, but the anatomic name would be better, but that's okay. Why this is... Oh, I think I know it might still have... No, it's not the case. So this is 2 to 1. I don't know why they got messed up, and this is 3 to 2. Why I have these helpers? Oh, I know why. They got duplicated from... That's it. All these bones were duplicated, so we can't control... This is bad. Yeah, so there should be a way to simplify that, but I don't know. So select here, Control F2. Let's read instead of let's make sure we don't make a mistake here. So oh, actually no, Control Z. So instead of this, nothing. There we go. Now I need to fix... Yeah, then all these ones, they got... So here, say instead of 0, 2, we get this. Delta, map delta thigh. Let's say mechanism. It's just the base for this is just an experimental thing that I was doing. Okay, so we need here to Ctrl F2. Gonna just turn this into nothing. Alright, then anything remaining here? Yeah, this one, and all those also are... Yeah, this will be a bit more tricky. We have... So instead of 0, 3, let's make 0, 0, 1. Then this couple here, instead of 4, they become 2. And then this one, instead of 5, they become 0, 0, 3. There we go. These ones, there's one outside and there's another couple inside. Could it be that? Okay, maybe inside there isn't a couple, a child. So okay, so instead of 0, 2, just do 1, and then here instead of 0, 3, 0, 2. If there is something, we'll see from the, let's see, unsolo all. No, there isn't. So I don't think I've deleted. Probably I just didn't make it in when I was rigging. Maybe because I thought that would not be necessary, but we can create it anytime. Let's go back here to the fan system. It's quite confusing, right? So we're gonna make some adjustment here. That should help a little. What I'm doing is arbitrary change, just to see wherever it seems better to have visualization or not. Okay, so these ones have these are funny bones. This is why they have this color. All right, but they don't seem. Then we have these ones which have some strange color here. For they are also funny bones, so what should I do with these ones? Yeah, so this starts to get a bit messy, so I'll have to reorganize this. They are fan bones, but they are funny bones. They are different. So I'm gonna they are supportive bones of the fan bone, so we're gonna bring them like this color might be sufficient, right? But then we have the smaller ones, so I don't have a combo here for all of them. This handles leverage, yeah, this, so that I can do this, we can just, these ones we could get this color, okay, and this one special color, yeah. So I could start with, okay, let's see if we pick these ones. Yeah, I'll have to sacrifice some logic here, so so the secondary, yeah, these are the secondary. They could be that, and if there is a tertiary, yes, there is. In this case, these ones, they could have this color. There we go. So okay, that provides a no case sequence here. And positioning, yeah, let's go for the positioning of this. So I'll use the control skeleton because it has already the good positioning, so we can't use here the, I need to use the control skeleton, the deform skeleton, sorry. So we're gonna realign this, make sure first it is here, and then we align with the hand. It is aligned, this is correct. We can also shift and make sure this is going downwards. This is the, it's not the control, oh, there's no control hand here, it's the master hand, which is somewhere else, so it's not a problem here. So this one is a bit trickier, so see its orientation. So it is parented to, oh, no parenting, and this one no parent. Okay, we parent the helper to the deform hand, and here I have to check. I think it is parented to the deform hand as well, or maybe to this one. I think it will be to this one. But I'll have to check this. And because this is very, very tricky. Anything we do wrong here often will break the automation. This is very delicate or it will make the bond constraints much harder or much easier. It's very tricky to get because it involves rotations and automation, so indirect posing. So here what we want, what I want here is the helper. So let's see, we have this one, which is parent, by the way, this is parent to the def thumb, this is parent to def hand, alright, and this is parent to def arm lower, yeah, so here. So as I conceived, what about these ones? Def arm lower, def arm upper, def arm upper, just as this one, def shoulder. Okay, nothing too special here. This probably to the def hip, and this def hip left, right, is this one on the left side, and this the def up leg lower. These names I didn't like that. It's hard to read in the end, so let's go in the simpler way. Sometimes what seems more rational is actually terrible, depending on the culture, depending on the perceptions of the language and practices. So it's also personal. Okay, leg lower. I was just trying to see if that, but readability is also important. We can lose a lot of time with bad names, right? The foot here, okay. The foot, okay, so I understand how this def toe, so I understand how these bendy bones are, the bone constraints are something else, but this is another story. So this will be simpler here. What we need to do is just yeah, so what I can do here is align this with this. This of course is bad, but then I need to flip it, reset. No, this is not working. Okay, so, oh, I see, this orientation is rigify, okay, but it's, no, it will be fine because it's just a parent relation, so it can have a rotated axis. Okay, so I'll have just to do something different, but its orientations of the rotations must be aligned with must correspond, well, now this can be confused. I said bone constraint, no bone constraint for this shit, so maybe sorry, this will depend which bone constraints does it has. Let's try to follow something about this bone, then if it's about rotation, yes, the axis will matter, but for now, okay, we align here, we invert, we snap, it's still aligned, right, but align now in opposite direction. So now what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to do this. I'm curious about something. Negative, I've reset and set a negative, a positive 100, which gives a negative, right? What if we do this one? Well, this doesn't give a proper value, but that's okay. It's just nor this one. Who will understand that? Probably because they are not. They are trying to. They are not totally aligned with with the x along the x-axis. They are slightly dipping down, so this makes the roll well, actually no, this, yeah, no, I don't know why it says, anyways, doesn't matter. It tries to align with the downward. It seems to be working. Okay, that should be sufficient for the orientations. It doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. Now I'm gonna check the bone constraints, because just need to make sure. Okay, so indeed it has a, the targets is the hand on the mechanism IK owner of the hand. So so IK bone constraint on. So this is not a, it's not, has no bone constraint in relation to the forearm, so it doesn't, it won't care about this unmatching bone rolls here. It's perfectly fine for parenting. Parenting doesn't care about that. It does, parenting relation just cares about the, it's like ignores the rolls, like the bone will just follow blindly the rotation of its parent. It doesn't understand the roll. It doesn't read the rolls. It just cares about space. It's not a good okay, here is snap here. This, we just get the alignments here. Okay, this is just like this. So this is not a dual fan bone, this is just a single one for the knuckles. I did that to simplify this work here. Because if you imagine, if you had a dual fan, every single of these dual fan bones, it's tricky to set up, as you can see. So let's see the parent. Yeah, parent here directly, parent here. It's about the rotation, so we can just care about this part of the joint. That should be fine. Like, the most important thing for me is like these joints are more critical, I think. Okay, so here we parent here, there we go. This is okay. Now we continue. So here we already see what it looks like, so move these two. Parent. Yes, so here, for this joint we can leave them aligned with no, not yet. Hold on, what is the def arm lower? Okay, so you see these are different targets naturally. So this would probably, yeah, this certainly means that in this case we really want a proper alignment. So here we're gonna align this here, we're gonna flip, we're going to re-snap. You see there's doubles, two space for snapping here. So I don't know what's going on here. It's something is incorrect here. I hate when that happens. Oh, it was this bone. Oh, it's I see what happened. It snapped on the other, and then the other had another point of snapping. So yeah, crazy thing. So here we got these ones. Parent to here. Okay, keep offset. Let's align, and here's the problem. I want to align with active bone. Nope. Okay, so it refuses to. Oh no! I did the wrong. Okay, so how do I fix this? Okay, I think it was like this, and negative 90. Okay, so it lost the parent, I guess. Yeah, I did an alt F, so it's control lower arm, control. Let's do this, will be simpler. Upper arm, lower arm, upper arm. Okay, this control skeleton. Let's do some stuff here. This gonna rename, right? All these deformed bones, they are Ctrl F2, so find replace def 2 def 4. This is for the arm. Then also, since we are here, we could thumb metacarpal. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Finger, yeah, we could just simplify, but finger, no, but it's like finger, thumb, no, it's like thumb is better, right? Index, middle, and pinky. Yeah, there's no ring finger here to simplify, so what we're gonna do here is to they got all flipped, right? So 3 2 1, so yeah, this is super annoying. So this one's the worst thing. So this will be how to fix this quickly. And then I have the symmetric side. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna find something like phalanx. No, that won't work. Okay, suffix 001. All right. Okay, these are correct. These are incorrect. Gonna give them a suffix 0. That's might be a highlight, yeah. I'm a new setup of doing highlights here, folks, so this not recording anymore and clustering my computer, but then I have to re-export the video. In YouTube Studio now there's a new search, but it's still very laggy for me. I don't know, it's my browser, it's some cache I delete. I'm not sure. Maybe it takes too long to just load the video, the stream, to start editing. It's too annoying. But if I'm patient enough, if I can work. Okay, let's record here. Also, can I see the time of the stream we are right now? Sorry folks, I need to check here. This will help me after getting the highlights. So it's 49, yeah, 50. If I have a note bad at my side, it can immediately fix that. Okay, so this will, at 50 minutes of streaming, I have a highlight. So alright, so here, madness, folks. Check this. So if I isolate just this finger, we see what's happening here. You see 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, unknown value. So I want the opposite, but the problem is that we cannot simply rename. They are not parented one to each other. Actually, they are parented to another skeleton here. So I think Blender, if I just try to rename this like naturally, like something like this, just picking the name, if I have this active, because they are not connected, set name, new, entirely new name, they will not actually recognize the change, so it's not working. There's a Blender improvement in this name. So here, if they were parented, let's make a quick thing here, break this parenting, and see if what I was saying was right. No, okay, it's still bad. So it's something related to, okay, never mind. So that also doesn't work. So it's because their original name is already maybe some sort of incorrect. Also, the problem is that we have select mirror, right? I've made this Shift-Alt-X, but then we also need to extend in order to have both sides. No, they are hidden. Okay, let's. Alright, the highlight is bad, folks. I'm gonna do it again, sorry. This is too complicated. So 52 dot and half. I need to improve this way of taking notes, so I'll gradually will get better at that. Let's get the star on. It's just a different method. So here, folks, you see what's going there. You have a problem. The problem is that these bones here, they have their names, the numbers, right, invert. So this should be the 001, the 002, and here maybe the 003. And it's very annoying to rename those bones, even with the batch name, because not only sometimes it doesn't recognize what we want, they are not parented here between themselves, that could help, but more than that, they're already symmetrized, so I have to select big both in order to rename with select mirror, and then one side, the other side, period, the other side, period. I can do that. So we want extend. So now if I do that, now both sides are selected simultaneously, right? So this works for rigging, right, as well, not just for animation. Then what I want here, I'm gonna have to rename them maybe one by one. Yes, so this is a case that there are many ways, but possibly what you could do is something like this. We can change here the suffix. Yeah, okay, folks. Never mind. So another thing that is not going to be a highlight. I can't. Here we can just do this, and I forgot what was my plan actually. So I'm gonna do this, extend, gonna rename. So since I know this, just need the suffix 0.003. Now I can. These are taking a suffix that I want. So Now I know what I needed to do. So here we're gonna strip characters, digits at the end, and let's, yeah, just strip characters. Then we pick these ones. We're gonna do this, Control F2. Yeah, now when I'm not recording, then the workflow is fine, right? So we're gonna here set name, suffix, no, strip characters, and we're gonna do this because now it will inherit the 001. The other side, yeah, the other sides are also, see, it's changing there. And now this is free. Let's select mirror extend, Control F2, batch rename, make sure there's bones, and here we're gonna add, yeah, for no, I can't. Can't just set a name because each one has a different. One is index, the other is middle. Yeah, so it's not gonna work the other way. We need to do it by little bits. So it is like here I don't need to strip guard, just set name as suffix. We could do 01, but what I want 02. But if we do 01, it will automate and immediately place each one of them to 002. Done. So this is very hard to present without a script. Alright folks, so here we got this right. Now I suspect that we have still the same problem for the control skeleton. Fortunately, well, no, the control skeleton seemed to be perfect. Alright, so no problem with this, thankfully. Apparently no problem here, so let's go back to the helper and the positioning of those bones, right? Not once the helper bone, just the fan bone structures, and also these joints of the control skeleton. Pick this and this. You see that the joint is incorrect. My new joint that I'm doing is yeah, so I've decided that this will be the place of the joint. So I'm gonna just get here, align this with this, parent it, actually deform skeleton, parent this to the upper arm. Now we gonna parent this one, no, not yet, so we're gonna first align it, then we're gonna flip, then we're gonna snap. There's a double snap there. Sometimes you don't know what's going wrong if it's one or more bone. Let's leave it to the side. Let's see if something is I hate that. So I don't know if it is okay. Let's do something like this. I know the deform rig, the control rig can't be incorrect because it is connected, so the joint between the control is perfect. So if something is wrong, is about would be these bones. So the problem is that I don't see what it is, so I have to do one by one. Like, just want to move this. You see, now it's perfect. So snapping here, so it's not, it was not this bone. Now let's select this one. So here you see that it's still trending, so probably it's the other bone. Yeah, That will be an interesting highlight. Let's see, time of the stream 1:15. Okay, hold on folks, there we go. So here, interesting small topic issue. So you see, I'm trying to position this with this snap feature. Vertex include non-edited disabled, so I'm just in the skeleton, the armature on edit mode. I'm trying to snap, holding control, and as I try to pose this joint here, this bone in, okay, it's looking okay, this is a bit annoying, but as I try to position it there, you see that it's trembling, it's not snapping correctly. This means that there's more than one ball joint incorrectly positioned, but I know that it cannot be the control skeleton here, because these bones here, they are parented connected, so they are just one matching, perfectly matching ball joint there. Tail here from this bone and head from this bone, so they are perfectly matching because of the connected parenting. So it's something about the other bone. So I can rely, for instance, on the 3D cursor for snapping here, but I won't with the snapping directly. So I'll leave these bones like visible here, and I'm going to go for the, let's say, this layer, which has a lot of bones that are annoying. So let's first hide this one, which had nothing to do with that right now, and let's see with also this one. So this is a helper bone, which is part of a dual fan bone system. So this would be here, and this will be here. So here we see that it's not trembling anymore. So this means, so assessing one by one, I can discover what was wrong. So probably what was, I'm not sure what was wrong, but there's still more. There is still the, okay, so these are correct. Gonna align this here, then Alt F, then do this, and then let's reorient here with the active bone. I think that should work. And this, yeah, this should be, no, this alignment should be probably here. So this is more confusing because actually you could do this with negative, well, in this case positive axis, right? It's because I'm following the Rigify add-on or extension pattern, that the shoulder is up, then the arm, because of the bending of the here the joint, then it's bent in this direction, so mainly, so that is the z-axis orientation. Then the hand is up, but for the deformed bones of the hand or whatever in the hand, even the helper system, you see I align everything pointing downward. It's the primary orientation of bending of the fingers, let's say of the belly of the hand, not the torso, the palm of the hand, right? So, and the helper bone, since this is about the wrist, and even though this is parented to the lower arm bone, the deformed lower arm bone, it's still its bone constraints here will respect the hand, nothing to do with the parenting relation. So parenting relation doesn't care about bone roll. What cares about bone roll is the transforms caused by bone constraints and such, and of course local transforms if ever we are manipulating the bone individually. Okay, so we already start to fix this annoying double, triple joints that were not matching correctly. We could use the 3D cursor, right? But I liked the idea of joining, of snapping, and then we just snap and align, right, and stuff like that. So now there's still the not the helper, the skeleton. So I think here is the problem. You see, we see something is bad here. It's probably this bone of the shoulder, deformed shoulder, that I haven't touched yet. This one I think I already fixed. But what I could do here is perhaps just select these two. Then, yeah, this is correct. So you see, no problem here. What I could do is, because I don't want to change the bone entirely, don't want to displace its tail reposition. I just want here. So let's unhide thing. Let's see. You see it's tremble. Maybe you don't see, but you see they are here. It's going crazy. So this is not good, right? So let's see if that was okay. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna pick this one, this place. This is its tail, right? And now let's position. Okay, so the culprit was this tail or tip. I think it's tail or tip bone joint, and that's correct. And now this one just gets there, and so we fix this annoying thing. And just to make sure, we don't need this if I already aligned, but we're going to align this with this one. Okay, I got the idea. Okay, since actually what I want is the following. I want to have the same alignment, the orientations, except for the roll. So the roll will respect the orientation. So here we're gonna reset roll. Actually, I'm gonna, yeah, we could do the positive. Which is better here? I'm not sure what is better. I think positive is okay, but I was trying to use the reset roll, but the reset roll doesn't, very interesting tip, actually the reset roll is not good for the x-axis, bones on the x-axis, because you see these fingers, if I reset roll, the bone is tilted, it doesn't go north or up, it's not aligned with world z-axis. That's stupid, but that's how Blender, if the bone is facing forward and it is rotated like here, you see it's forward, but if I reset, this doesn't tilt, nor if it was be backward, doesn't tilt. So this is because of I found out this reset roll when the bone is facing along it's oriented along the x-axis, not along the y-axis. Very weird, right? But so we can't rely on the reset roll for these bones here, unfortunately. So it have to, but we can still just align them with positive, or just I did that, or, and so this will be more reliable. So in this case, this is why for this shoulder, even this one, this will be more adequate. And so you can here just align this with here. And so finally here we're gonna, this one will also align with global positive x. This we're gonna, yeah, so this is tricky. I want first to align it with, yeah, let's do this more precisely. So first with this, then we Alt F, then we snap here. So the orientations are still aligned, maybe not the bone roll, but then we just can use axis here, or it's not exactly the same thing sometimes, I think, but if I orient with the global or align it, no, where is the roll here? See, the roll is 6.9. Yeah, it's actually a lot more than that, but in terms of numbers, so if I align here, active bone. No, it's the same. Okay, so apparently they work some together, but let's do just this. These are minimum details. I wish it was be more easy to handle that, but this should be. I don't know why they have. Yeah, now they are different. So, but at least this sort align everything all at once seems more regular task, right? Batching task. That sounds better, right? So let's leave like that. It's very close orientation, even so. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it will be a big deal if like they were something like that, or more than a few. 1 degree could be a lot, but no, one not maybe. Yeah, very slightly doesn't care. It's not a problem. So here that solves many problems. Oh, also it lost the parenting of the Alt F, which is the switch direction, right? So just gonna reparent it to the deaf shoulder, and that's symmetrized because I'm using this and that's it. So these ball joints, be careful. That might not be a big deal, but sometimes it's good to fix the rig if we can, right? Clean rigging practices. And I'm having these troubles because I'm repositioning the whole skeleton. So this like reusing stuff, remixing, rescaling, and otherwise this is probably something that we will not face so often. But it's a typical, yeah, bone rolls, this is pretty annoying. So that's it, folks. Please like, subscribe if you like the content. Let's finish this highlight here, right? Let's go back here. So okay, this is a dual fan bone system, but it is still not the no funny bones here. We could have some bones that will automate on each orientation around, like a fan, right? Circular all around. We could have more of that. Each one will push or drag or rotate the mesh of the shoulder region, that complex joint of the shoulder and the it's very asymmetric, right? The anatomy all around, not very, but quite asymmetric, right? Up and down, quite asymmetric. Left and right, super asymmetric. Of course, you have the limb. And back and front, yeah, sort of asymmetric. So it's very, very hard. The hip thigh is even worse, in my opinion. So it's the hardest, I think. But here we have slightly more asymmetry. Not only because the front and back, in my opinion, is a bit more symmetric than the pubis in relation to in comparison to the gluteus, to the buttocks. So let's continue with this I'm not validating anything here, right? I'm pressing ask. Okay, so what I need to conclude here is the other fan bones of the body. So you have just for the legs here, and since we are here, yeah, so I've stumbled into this joint thing because they were trembling. Here it looks okay, no trembling, so this seems accurate enough. So here we're gonna do this simple. So these parents go to the deformed shin. This one we're not gonna parent it, so gonna just align it here. Now make sure it's well positioned. Yes. Now this one we parent, no, not parent yet, we align with here, we Alt F it, we snap it back here, and now we can parent a deformed thigh. and then we can do what? We can, yes, what we can do, we can yeah, the roll, right? So we just, here the roll is already aligned, right? So no big deal here. These are all aligned a bit, right? So this is, but this is different. These ones we cannot, I reset the rolls for them, right? So this is fine. So the, as in rigified on, the Z backwards, so this is the direction of the bending of the knee, right, of the leg. Like the, this is why the Z here is facing forward. So I'm following rigify logic, and appreciating it more recently. It makes some stuff more complicated, but might be better for posing, maybe for the axis that we decide, right? So anyways, here now, maybe they are following some convention that I'm not aware of, but anyways, I like the extra complication can be worthy. Not all rigs use that. And this one, okay, so this one we just need to align here manually to active bone. We're gonna do with the deform, and there we go. So I believe this is the easiest way, but just to make sure, sometimes if they are inverted it's a little bit, oh, it's inverted, no? Oh, it's because this rig, the Z is pointing forward. Yeah, this is not a good example for everything that I have here actually. Yeah, this is pointing up, so yeah, so maybe I trust in what I'm doing. So this will be like the final ultimate rig, right? So I think this is correct. If it's not, there's one orientation that is better than the other for the automation, but this is just a question of preference. Now let's get here facility, right? What looks better? So we're gonna pick this and this, gonna snap here. Now let's make sure this is not double snapping, apparently not, and this we align with this, yes, and then we parent it to the deform foot, and you see that I don't call the helper bones def, I call them hoop, and so this align with here, then flip, then snap, then active to active there, and then finally we parent to the deform shin because it loses the parenting. So this will be a bit tricky because they are sort of, but it's like the continuation. So it's like if we align them, the z-axis, there's both z-axis will be matching, right? So finally I have a structure here for the toes, and align here. So you see this Z is pointing up, the reset. That seems right. So align here, then Alt F, then snap here, then I cannot, so what I can do here is just align to active bone, yeah, there, that could work, or just as same. So it's hard to keep consistency sometimes, right, when these little details shift. Then so you see that will be a different, that will be the pattern that I was using along global. Okay, that sort of gave the I could let it 0, but it's because of this alignment. So you see, there are a lot of little details here, but this is micro detail. So this, right, it's crap. I don't think this will cause any trouble. There are cases where that could be annoying, but I think in general, in principle, we can have all those sorts of anomalies everywhere. That shouldn't be a problem. I'd like to have them fixed, cleaned up in some automated way, but I think Blender doesn't have this kind of features yet. There are many things that I think are sort of inconsistent with bone rolls. It's very bizarre, but no one. It's very tedious to do any documentation to try to say where the conflicts might be. So parent here to last finally, and this one parent to, yeah, I need to parent to the deft toes, and that will symmetrize the parenting. All right, so these helper bones, the dual fan bones, all fan bones have been, no, the dual fan bones all have been parented. So this means that the bones with this orange color, they were solved, right? Oh no, I forgot here. All right, so you see these are still displaced, so we're gonna snap it here, pick this one, snap it there. Let's change the size. So here, this one is easy. We just align here. Let's parent it with here. It's a helper 3. The 3 is for leg of both sides, right? It has wrong naming, right? So just as these ones, as we have duplicated them, so we're gonna Shift Alt X for select mirror option with extend. I'm gonna rename them B for bones. Strip characters, hold Shift for those things, otherwise they don't, they toggle, but radio button, but no, hold Shift, that will work. There we go. So stripped out the 0.001 stuff. Now we need to, okay, parent to the type. Okay, this is already done. Align with this is fine. Then this one, position, align, Alt F. Now it is backwards. We're gonna scale it, be bone size, somewhat like here. Then we're gonna place it here, scale a little more, then we're gonna and scale down somewhat like this. Then now we're gonna, oh, these ones, okay, so what we're gonna do here, if we reset the roles here, so instead we're gonna, this is the bad orientation along world x-axis, cause trouble for, maybe it's a bug. Maybe I could report that. I think it's how the bone rolls are calculated, but in the system, but I think it's not consistent. So yeah, align this with global space, this X, alright, and then we get this to do the same thing and parent it to Control P. Let's make the highlights of, yeah, the denounce, if we can say like that. Let's make the report. Yeah, I want to select, okay, there we go. So we're gonna also bring up this. All right, this will be nice. Yeah, let's get her some armor. No, okay, folks, Blender folks, are you ready for the let's see, where's the timing? Sorry folks, 1:25, 1 hour 25 minutes and 15. Yeah, just the beginning time is enough. Star bug. Alright folks, so here is what I found. I don't know if this is a bug, if it's normal, if it's an inconsistency, I don't know, but it can be pretty annoying in rigging, and I'll show you why. So apparently the bone rolls, let's start it in this demonstration workspace, add a bone here anywhere. So see, if we get the bone aligned with the, let's rotate it, RX, reset roll, Alt R. Okay, so you see that its z-axis is aligned with world space, its bone roll here, right? 0, that is perfect, that is good. If we align it with Shift N to global z-axis, okay, it yeah, okay, so it has some, I don't know why this, but okay, reset roll. So this already is strange in my opinion. This might be a sort of inconsistency. We see that the maybe because it's not perfectly aligned with the Z. Now Z is matching, or maybe it's not totally. No, it's matching apparently. So this is already something strange, in my opinion. Maybe it's because of the. No, it's not about. Oh, this changed something, or it's about the height. No, along X maybe. Okay, nothing is changing here. So anyways, so you see there's a difference between reset roll and doing this thing. However, if we rotate on the x-axis, let's reset here, make sure this is perfectly aligned. If I rotate a bone that is by nature, by default is, no, by default not, that is already aligned with the world y-axis, as this bone could be a root bone, you see that if I rotate it along the, and reset the roll, and do anything like that, okay, you see that the 0 reset roll is sort of perfectly aligned with world z-axis, even though the bone is, yeah, it's tilted, but this is not gonna be a problem. However, if I have the bone, so let's delete this bone, let's add a new bone for more consistency. Let's rotate now this bone along the z-axis, this thing, whatever. So now it's aligned with the world x-axis, right? So if I reset the roll, it was point up, and now where maybe it's the default, but I think this is weird, and this I'll show just in a moment how this is so annoying, can be super annoying for rigging characters, 3D characters. So here we can try again if this okay, align with the reset roll, doesn't cause any difference apparently from the this recalculate roll, right? So this seems to be matching. However, as soon as this bone on edit mode, which is aligned with the world x-axis and not aligned with the world y-axis, as soon as we rotate this slightly, let's say slightly up here or down, doesn't matter, and I recalculate row, reset row, immediately it starts tilting. It's not anymore aligned with, you see, this was not the pattern. with the bone if it was aligned with the world-wide space. It just reset the roll, but the z-axis, it's z-axis really pointing straight up, while this one starts to tilt. This one, yeah, it starts to tilt just as this one, right? Actually, just found out. Because it is you see, I reset roll just because this joint is not aligned with this one along the x-axis, and so this so now if I reset roll, it's fine, and now if I reset roll for this one, it's not good. So the only way, well, one way would be to do this, and that would sort of, that will be the reset roll that I would like to have, right? Even for whether the bone is aligned with here or X, right? And I don't know about the, if the bone, yeah, and if the bone is aligned with the z-axis, as we add the bone, then the reset roll is, it doesn't, it keeps aligned, right? Yeah, the reset roll is always, you see, it's always orthogonal. So the problem is that this reset roll here is not orthogonal to world space, and this is what is, and the more we rotate along its normal here, the less it will be, right? It's completely tilted, right? It starts to have, even though it's completely aligned straight along the x-axis, but of course with this thing, but the roll will tilt. And now where this is annoying, because if I'm making a rig like of this character, and I have, hold on folks, just to clean any interference here, you can delete this. So I have two examples here, but you see, as I want to, because this is the arm and the characters in the T-pose, or this is along the x-axis, that the world x-axis, that the arms are modeled, right? Usually the whole arm actually. So as soon as I try to reset these rolls, because they are not straight like this master key hand bond here, this I reset is fine, but this, if I reset, it's no more fine, not anymore. So it starts to tilt. Then that forced me to have to find another way to align those bones naturally, which is have to do this align. So I don't know if this is a expected behavior, because how the system of bone rolls and the rotations, all that, but it's sort of, it doesn't sound clean. It sounds weird, because it's just not, it's like the bones, they are getting orthogonal to the in according to the reset to something that is not the world. It's there, and strangely it doesn't occur for some reason when the bone is simply aligned with the y world axis, but it happens. So it's some strange thing about the world axis in relation to the bone's local axis. So it's strange, right? Then okay, so here we need to fix this. We need to find align everything to global axis, but if I reset, I mess up all the things. So this can be more dramatical in other, that's already quite dramatic, but for these hips, for example, here, if I reset, we get this. You see, these are or some inversion there, but okay. So here, same thing. Took me a while to find some more agreeable solution to this, but this works, but it's not. I think the fact of reset should reset them orthogonally, right? Since they are orthogonally word space, they are just not facing front or backward, they are facing laterally. So just recording this as a support, maybe that helps investigating something, or if it's not a bug, maybe this could be improved in some way. I'm not sure, but this is not very intuitive for rigging. It's actually, this is why I wanted to share this. Thanks, folks. Okay, let's where's the OBS Studio? You need to take off this start. There we go. Alright, now we're going to I hope I didn't mess up any rows here in the end. No, everything seems fine now, folks. So here, let's see. Yeah, all right, we got fan bones, then we have more helper bones to solve. Okay, now I could address the smoother bones. Let's get the skeleton. Okay, actually, so one way to solve this, I could probably, yeah, so we could try to snap these positions, right? Why not? What I mean by this is that if we, no, but the positioning must be straight, right? Yeah. So we can still do it. What is this? Armrest fan. This is an old one. We don't need this. Yeah, I have some. Yeah, I have a backup for this. It's because these have some. No bone constraint. Copy rotation. Yeah, not anything special about this setup. Copy rotation bad, yeah. So no, never mind, delete that. They were in the wrong layer of, yeah, so old stuff. This is a, yeah, this is all automated. This is wrong actually, because this the fan bone doesn't need this. This could be a nice proposition. I think it has some scale stuff, maybe. No, this is not the case of the scale. It's just changing location differently. I think they have some, yeah, lots of mistakes here. This is an old fan bone. You see by the colors. This is different. This is not a fan bone. This is a leverage. Here is old fan bone. Copy, yeah. So here we got some. Just double checking. Here is nothing of interest. No. So that copy rotation could work with caveats. Maybe it was not perfect. So I'm gonna just delete this, gladly clearing the junk here. And now we're gonna, yeah, I think it will be a nice idea if I can just try to reposition these bones in some more meaningful way. So of course what matters is the positioning. Okay, so what is the idea here? The idea is very simple. We want this bone to be positioned along normal, exactly like could snap exactly here, but it is hard because it seems to be a too small bone, so it's already not too good. So I'm gonna select all this and let's try to augment let's change their bone length to 0.0, yeah, 0.01. That might help a little, yeah, that should be okay. So now we can, like for example, instance, we can still having problem here with the snapping. Maybe it's this normal, no. Okay, so that worked. Then I'm gonna use here, gonna change the method to tangent. Alright, so this is pretty annoying, so I'm gonna place it there. We'll follow the alignment of here. Why is doing that? I don't get the idea. Okay, I'm resetting the roles. Let's hide the main skeleton here. Why when I align it, it goes back? I have no idea. Oh, because it is strangely inverted. Alright, so it was just... Oh, it's okay. So it's because the bendy bone is pushing it. Gonna start handle. No, this is correct. So why it is doing this and absolute to this? Okay, so here I want the mechanism, because the bone that would be there. So I'm gonna pick this handle, we're gonna place it about here, and we're gonna position this here. We align this with that. We align this and this with this. Oh, I see. Well, of course I cannot do this alignment. I need to align with the forearm. Yeah, of course. This bone is backwards, right? That explains everything. So it's just this. Ah, no, I cannot do that. Well, I can, but then I need to realign just the... Yeah, here. Then now I can align this properly. And this now I can sort of position there, right? Let's see from the top. That should be enough to have okay deforms. I'm not sure if this... Then we need to reset here. Let's see if those bendy bones features. Something seems odd here. I think it's the parenting, right? No, it's not the parenting. This parent to the here, align here. Okay, left alignment. This we align with here. I see there's a slight tilting that, so that's why. As you have this, no, okay, so this aligns here, but it's global Z. This we could also do global Z, right? Okay, that's it. So this align also global Z. Let's do this. And not the skeleton here, don't need to look at that. We just want to position here. This should be parented to the skeleton. Yeah, where's the, no, not control skeleton, the form skeleton here. And this is parent to the handle. No, something is incorrect here. Deform hand. Oh, handle forearm. This is confusing. There's a wrist handle. Yeah, this must be careful. So arm, wrist. We're gonna change this to we're gonna find and replace. So instead of control, we're gonna get this handle. Yeah, instead of handle arm, just handle. Wrist smooth. Okay. They are not called fan, that could be annoying. So yeah, I could add some fan smooth, right? Smooth whistle. Yeah. So handle wrist to handle. Now handle. Okay, let's change everything. Smooth to handle smooth wrist. Then we pick this. We're gonna so instead of def arm wrist smooth, we're gonna do helper for smooth wrist. All right, 001, 002, finally. This is probably the most complicated one. Then I probably want to change all these controls here. but it's not like that, right? Yeah, I'll have to do by group, right? So this one's gonna set of control arm elbow smooth. We're gonna get them handle smooth elbow, the joint. Alright, then these ones control F2. So instead of control arm shoulder smooth, we're gonna get handle smooth shoulder. There we go. 001 002 001 002. Let's get another highlight here. Here, folks, super annoying renaming, but life made it easier here. It is basically, you see, these smoother bones here. It's not a good case. Let's see these ones. Okay, they have updated names. These are much easier. Okay, maybe this one's a good one case. So I could try to change all of them, but together by type. But these are the bendy bones. So here we're gonna, instead of def 5 leg, this horrible thing that I did experimentally some time ago. So these are corrective armature deform method for the joint of the ankle. This is why, and yeah, let's take this all off. And we could do just like helper instead of deform. So this is for the legs. So 0 0, the legs 0 is 3. Then it's like def 3, but it's the helper it's on the deform helper rig, let's say this way. So just do this here, and smoother bone, because it's the category of helper bone it is, and ankle, and then leave the rest. So the rest is just the .l .right. Unfortunately, yeah, so it was also selected. I thought it wasn't. Okay, so here we have this fixed, and as for these ones, well, pick this, Shift Alt X, select mirror with extend, so get both sides, right? Control F2, B for bones, and then here we could get, instead of control ankle, BB handle start, so I preserve the left and right at least doing this. So this will be handles. So the 3 number, this is just categorization for the vertex groups for the time being of Blender UI, because there's no collection, there's a hierarchy for the vertex groups yet, so classification there is just, we rely on those numbers. But here for the mechanism on control rig, whichever is not a deformed bone, doesn't, with assign vertex groups, influencing vertex, doesn't need. So this is why this won't take the number. So we're gonna take this smoother ankle, and just like that. So that way these both are now yeah, so this will appear in the vertex groups. The positioning is terrible, but so here maybe we can automate something. Yeah, we could, let's see. Now I see it's hard, so here we can get, so instead of def leg, we can keep the knee in this case. So we're gonna go find replace substitute totally to help 3. These are deformed bones, smoother knee, just like that. And so double, so okay, so here knee to knee to knee, the knights that say knee, right? So okay, so I had double knights here saying knee, and there we go. So finally got this from here. So Control F, no, select mirror, Control F2. So here we're gonna so instead of control, we're gonna get handle, and because they are automated, we don't control manually those things in principle in my rig, but in this rig. So, and here we're gonna preserve the hips, but we're gonna add the smoother, and we can also, yes, the 001 is because I prefer this handle 00. Why they are inverted though? Yeah, okay, this will be another problem to solve, but let's conclude here. And so this is, instead of def, it will be helper. So this will make a distinction between whichever is deformed bones and deformed helper bones. So they are all separated if we sort by names in the vertex group. I'll show you in a moment. And this is best for visualization or working with wave painting and management, all that maintenance of the rig. That's sort of relevant, I found out, at least for my process. So here is the hips, yeah, but it's actually hip left and hip right, so I'm gonna, it's not natural, but it's hips would be for bones that are exactly non-symmetrical, that we don't symmetrize, right? All right. And yeah, I need to fix this, so I don't know why they are inverted. So anyways, we're gonna, this is annoying, so we're gonna fix those positionings. I'll address this later, so keep offset. This is no parent here. Probably this should be parent to some, yeah, I don't have a good parent here. Probably the spine should work. And deform skeleton, so let's do, oh, you can beat this one, yeah, probably this is better, and this one probably here. So here I'm experimenting. Usually the smoother bone for here is good sometimes for the, especially for the side bending, I found out, but not for front and back bending. It doesn't really help. Then we need something else usually, or shape keys, or some, even shape keys also difficult. We couldn't have something like that, but fanny bones, whatever. It never sufficient, but it can help a lot. So this is not the, these are just for renaming patterns here, and let's see if everything is correct here. Yes, can also parent this here to the shoulder. Let's, yeah, just some lines which appear, and these will be parent to the upper arm. Yeah, upper arm and lower arm, and they are not aligned. They came from another rig, another skeleton. No, these are still not named, so let's also fix this. So instead of control leg, we're gonna give them a handle, HDL, smoother, and what remains, so it's 001, 002, there we go. And here this already fixed. Okay, parent here, so it's very displaced. I like to this I want it straight because the joint, right, all of the fit goings there, this is confusing. So I was have a lot of artifacts here. I was wondering what's happening. Maybe it's because at that time I wasn't using the bendy bone spline was right. So at that time maybe we didn't have the feature of the curvature here, right? So maybe that was not contributing, but my new assessment now, it's still curved, doesn't look right. This property will symmetrize. No, it didn't. Okay, so this time I'll maintain this straight. This can be curved. Let's see. Curved, right. This is probably straight. So here we need to address the target reset. No. Okay, the names are still wrong, right? So this is okay. We're gonna pick this one. We're gonna extend. We're gonna Control F2. So strip characters in this case. Yeah. And then we pick these ones. Control F2. So here you can find replace. No, not find replace. Set name, but suffixes already have something. So 0.2. And for these ones, for handles I prefer to just set name here. So this is a good way to address this. And this we can target, address this target. Probably here got this broken maybe. Oh, looks like we got a mistake here. So here strip characters, and just after this set name suffix 002, I guess. Yeah, so I've got in a little confusion there, but now it's fixed. So this needs to be so pick this target. I'm gonna resymmetrize then. Control F2 here, and that's it. I don't know about this. So pick the whole bendy bone spline, symmetrize, and now that should be fine. So if it's straight or not, in this case I'll maintain it straight. What's happening here? Okay, might be some automation that is some roll, whatever. Alright folks, so this is the highlight. I'm not sure it's too long. I'm probably gonna cut. So let's see what's going on here. I need to complete this these smoother bones at least. So let's see what we got here. Curved. No, this is no more curved. Gonna get straight. Let's see if the settings here is nothing, no anomaly here. Okay, so this seems right, but this can be absolute. Alright, this is it's on the head of this other bone, so it doesn't need to be tangent, and this one also absolute. This can be straight. Oh no, this is curved. Okay, this is more straight, so I think this is a small curvature right now, but I believe this should be okay. Then now looks like we didn't change this name, so find replace. So instead of def arm elbow smooth, gonna helper 4 for the arm. So this is smoother elbow. That's good. Okay, so now the positioning of these ones in relation to the fan bones, right? So it's not as I want, so I'm gonna actually okay, so this aligns with the deformed skeleton. There. And this aligns with this one. No, that's not working. Why it's not working? I got some strange naming here. Okay, this I don't know how to solve, so with automation, so there's two of yeah, so why yeah, it's just the tail that needs to match there. Yeah, that's it. Alright, fortunately no big deal there. So here was just this. Here maybe there's some value. No, nothing changed here, but this we can address later. Yeah, on edit mode, nothing, no special settings here. Also, we could shift G by color. Let's make sure we do these things. This doesn't have the automatic there. Alright, tangent absolute. Alright, this seems to be alright. Parent def upper arm, parent lower arm, correct. Parent handle smoother elbow, this is correct. Okay, I can expand this one. Let's snap it here, align, snap there, align, shift and global, right? And this, yeah, actually this we need to snap there. Align, then try to snap the tail there, and now we pick the all and do the global. Now check if this is correct. Yeah, everything seems to be correct. Parenting def shoulder, def upper arm, perfect. Yeah, and here probably we parent this to the so this parent to the smoother handle, yes, so parent this to the, we'll change this color to this one. Okay, is the squash and stretch, so still calling it smoother, but yeah, this is actually stretch squash. This is a different one, or just toon head, it's fine. So this could have a special color. It's hard to find a color here for this, so let's leave the same here. It's still a bendy bone, and we could make it bigger despite. It's good to see it in action, so I think it's, but it's, yeah, the problem is that this is dependent on the head bone, so okay, so the parenting, I believe this should be, yeah, so you see, though we could consider that, okay, there's the deformed head, the deformed head is locked, so yeah, I could do something, shift W unlock, could make the deformed head super tiny, shift W lock again, then this one we could do this, we see that we have some displacement, and I don't know what caused it. I hope it's not the okay, so I know that this is the correct joint. This seems to be right, or maybe it isn't. Yeah, there's some displacement here already, so I don't know how. This probably because of the connected parenting. I messed up something here. Or the connected parenting, it is hierarchical, so if we budge anything, it might affect. There's certain things that can break the rig, like from down to bottom, top to bottom, right? So it's very annoying to handle. So here I'm not sure now anymore which is the original, but one way to address it will be to see if this bone has the same Y and the same X. Yeah, the X seems correct, but we gonna Shift W, unlock, reset. Okay, I think this is because of the connected parenting, so I'm gonna just try to re-snap here. Bone length, it's the same. Okay, so maybe we can just relock these ones. They seem right. Then the Z is already for the tail. You see that it's not right. Yeah, let's unlock here. Let's make this 1.6. It's locked. Okay, forgot. Okay, now they have good matching. Now we can relock them. This doesn't seem to be locked. Okay, now it is locked. Now this is unlocked. Okay, now radius parent. Strange. Okay. Okay, now they are correct. Now we get all the rest of the hierarchy to lower hierarchy to get into the correct positioning. Let's use the master here as a reference. So there's a mechanism, there's a deformed skeleton, and there is a helper smooth skeleton. Yeah, so this will be simpler now if we do one by one. Yeah, let's fix first this one. So you can use this position. Let's place it there and align. Okay, so good, so we can unhide this, yeah, go to the form. So here use the same joint, align, no, align doesn't work, align here with, interesting. Okay, this is locked, probably this is why this is happening. No. Okay, so here is this weird behavior, but okay, the important thing is that are the data matching or not? Yes, seems to be fine, so I'll accept that. Maybe reset role, no, nothing changed. Then helper, not the helper, the smoother. So I think this is actually should go to Shift M, go to helper. We'll take it off from the smoother because good thing actually there are fans, smoother, and others. Yeah, we need another one, so it's like other or skeleton. Yeah, no, helper other. Yeah, so will be more. So you need the helper. We're gonna pick this one, then we're gonna pick these other ones by color. This we are also bringing to Alt M to other. Yeah, so this bone constraint of this, yeah, so I'm gonna turn this off for now. I've made a mistake, so all this Shift M to helper, so they should be included there. The only difference that they are now part of this. So when I select this one, okay, so here we got only the smoother, only the fans, and well, fans, this is not fan, so this physics bone, this didn't, I forgot to pick. So these leverages are also Shift M to other. Yeah, one thing that could facilitate, no, okay, this other we can, that's okay. We can bring the leverage. I just don't find it where it would be. Leverage belly, okay, there they are. Yeah, so I can make this slightly bigger. It's easy to identify. Then so these are fanny. No, I see what's went wrong here. So gonna pick all that. Shift M, make sure they are not part of the fanny. No, didn't work. Now it worked. Okay, so these are fan and fanny. Dual fan bones. What is this? Map crotch. This go for other, and also to general helpers. Okay. Yeah, I have some other systems here, right? But this is an old setup. So these were the deformed bones previously. We had some stretch tool like mimicking splines. These were the automators. They will move first by parenting to the derotator bone, which is the fan bone here. There could be another system for here around this, but who knows? Not necessarily. Maybe this will be these leverage things. Could do that, but essentially we're not gonna get these ones. So we can delete. If I want, I can rebuild this later. So I can clean this up. What is this? Twig fanny. Yeah, so this was remain. These are all yeah, still handles, but they are actually no handles anymore. They are diff forms. But this is just checking here. Hierarchy. No, these are not part of. This was the old system also. So we're gonna delete this. And we see that I don't remember why these ones, but I'm gonna include them here. Alright, so here all the helpers, helper others, helper fan. So these are part of the, we check the row, the automation. So they are part of the fan systems of the. So other is like leverage, and yeah, there's something missing here. This. So other is like a bit generic. We could separate first, but I think this is well distributed here, so. Okay. Really takes time to fix those. So I have a plan for Rigify add-on, right, extension. Now I'm learning scripting, Python scripting in Blender for rigging in Blender especially. And then I think soon enough, I don't know how long it will take, but it might be a question of 1 month. In 1 month I will be much better at scripting for rigging Blender in Python, and so I think, well, not much better, but slightly better than I've improved quite fast. In my opinion, as I started studying recently, yes, in this year, exactly in this year. on occasions, and now I've been pushing a little more and focusing on what I want, so I can already make this panel. It's not achieved yet, but it's in work in progress, and I already have enough understanding, I think, to begin tackling the automation of the creation of bones by text editor. So like us creating a script that will create generate rig, perhaps from a meta rig, that if I can't use because it's too complicated, then still I think I can create a script that I can share, that can, or can sell also, that can generate all sorts of destructors. Like I create a bone and I create a duplicate with a set name. So there's a lot of instancing thing. I think it's very feasible now that I understand. It's closer than I think. And then imagine this is a meta rig, you generate all this. So this is I have in mind, but to the final stage of that could take a few months, in my opinion. But I now have at hands the understanding to reach that. I hope rigify coding for making a meta rig and rig types. Maybe I don't need rig types, but maybe I don't even need rigify or meta rigs, but I want to do that too. But that probably will be more complicated than if I just trying to set my own setup. But I want to use rigify because I think this can bring extra setups. I like the idea of having extra bonus meta rig, and even more bonus rig types for free, or some free, maybe some extended. We'll see how this can help. I'm not counting on that to make life, but who knows? Maybe it's a skill set that it will be valuable. So okay, what's next here? It's already late. Yeah, so I started late anyways today. The bendy bone spine, did I? Yeah, I did that. So helper rig adaptation. Okay, so the last thing to complete this part is the positioning of this helper rig, and I was avoiding this because don't know, it's another focus on other stuff, but probably it's a good idea now to start doing this. Let's see. Okay, so probably you can pick this and place there to start with, and then here I don't know, it's been probably it's the subdivision surface, right? You can also here use the try to snap now it's not snapping. Okay, so here the strategy here will be to you pick this. No, yeah, this. Yeah, this could be a better approach, and Yeah, I see what's happened there. So let's use this anyhow. Anyways, because I can readjust this mesh geometry, the edge creases, which works with the subdivision surface modifier. So does this look weird? But no, it's just like that. There's too much things going on here. I always suspect that the bones are not aligned with the proper roles. Here's because of the yeah, probably here some mechanism bone wasn't correctly aligned, so what is the name of this joint? Yeah, this is strange name here. So anyways, we fix that, right? Interesting thing here to consider. Instead of reset row, here we're gonna shift and global X and then rotate -90. Yeah, and then we can probably align here. So it was already incorrect by default, and then that means that this also get to be fixed. As we align this, we get some, well, we could just do the roll here. Okay, and I think that's it. So it's super annoying, but oh yes, there are more bones here to solve. So fortunately, we're about to conclude this madness. Deform skeleton, helper, other, yeah, just the. So more joints here to consider. So here probably we just snap this there. Maybe do one by one. Then we have here, I'm not sure about this, so we're gonna just join this here. So here's a setup to have for inverse kinematics. So I'm not seeing very well the mesh, so let's get this. This is better. Here we'll have to probably do something different here. Okay, so here these roles here I don't care too much about. We can just leave them reset and reset. Okay, then here of course we want at least to have this is well according to the geometry to some extent, right? Have more bones here, but yeah, this bone is bizarre, so it would help indeed to have some curvature, but that will make the I key harder. Let's just try this. The part is get an idea of the flow in general, so this sounds fine. That sounds good enough. Alright, we don't need this anatomy is not so complicated, so we don't need to overcomplicate on here. Then this leverage bones, of course, need to find the Príncipe de La Paz. Welcome, bem-vindo. So welcome to the so here we're positioning this helper bones here somewhere. Leverage hip could be here or maybe about here. Yeah, something about here. And then from here we can check. We said there's a line of the joint. Let's try to place in the middle of the. We could snap here, try to snap it to face about here. That could be sufficient. It's too elongated. They could be facing instead of world space, they could be aligned that way, right? Why not? Maybe this will be better to read and to pose. Yeah, who knows? Let's try this way this time. They won't be aligned with world space in all orientations, but orthogonally at least. So yeah, this belly leverage, so this will try to snap in this joint here. Yeah, exactly somewhere like here. Maybe closer. No, that's, we say it's following this. Let's try to respect here, because we already have this topology, and the buttocks leverage will try to, yeah, so here we're gonna make it lower than that. If I, what is this place? Yeah, the positioning is not super, it will deform how that it matters in certain way, but it's hard to tell. So for this one, let's try to get here. Yeah, this one is a bit tough to decide. If I think this should work. Not placing in the middle of the edge. Try to place exactly in some pole, star, or whichever center of topology vertices meeting. Like a pole here, or just a cross here is enough. Okay, then why this bone map crotch? This probably just needs to be positioned there. Align with this. Didn't align correctly. Let's do this again. This crotch bone, we could position it exactly there, yes. And for its alignment, I don't know why it needs this okay, maybe this orientation is better for this particular bone. Its position, though, it's not very centralized, so it might be a problem here. Let's see the spine wireframe. It's just a single deformed bone, so I think this is a more centralized position. Yeah, so just as the other helper bones, we are trying to get some adequate positioning. So anything else? These are positioned. Oh yes, the fan. Yes, so there is these things are still messed up. Hold on, the smoother. This I haven't decided. Yeah, I've made a preset here for them. Like according to the wave paint layering of the mesh topology and mesh geometry. But it's very crude. It's really inside the body, so it'll be hard to predict everything here. Not sure if we're gonna test. Maybe this will work. So of course we could reposition this in other ways. Let's see if we can push this in some I don't want to place it at the joint here. Okay, so align this with global. I'm gonna place it here. Make sure the joint is there. Just realign those things. And that should be it. The parenting, def hip, def type, and this one here. This one, Shift Alt X, select mirror option. Let's bring this to the tangent. Oh, this is hold Shift Absolute, because the tail ends meeting the head of this bone, and this one Also, it's not tangent here, it's this is a simple bendy bone splice, so absolute, absolute. Alright, and bone constraint wise, we probably need to reset here and symmetrize. Oh yeah, the curvature. So for this one, maybe there's some slight curvature, so let's use curve here. Now just these two remaining ones for the smoother. Then I think the last thing will be these ones, the fanny bones, because I think I've already fixed these ones. Yeah, okay, so let's get the skeleton, and also let's get the let's bring the I'm missing something. Yeah, we need to I want this reference here, scale along normal. Let's use this positioning about here. Yes, let's try to follow the geometry. Alright, so I'm gonna reposition this. We don't need the deformed skeleton now. We can just use this. Gonna position it here. Scale along normal. We try to match the length of the. This is just for organization. It's not really necessary at all. So here we can align this with the deformed skeleton, and this one we can align with this, and now this one we align with here. I'm gonna bring the tail to there, but we need to change some stuff here. So absolute, now we're gonna use tangent and absolute. Right, parent is correct. Align here, align here, snap. Good, and that will be it. Now the stretch to bone constraint messed up also, and symmetrization. Right, so reset. Now this use special features, I guess. Curved. We need to reset some stuff here. I think the target is incorrect. No, it's okay. So let's go back before I destroy these things. Not too hard to remember. Go back here, reset bone constraint. I'm mistaken the reset, just that. Then we can pick this and symmetrize. And now the last one, so we're gonna scale along normal here and same. Okay, so here doesn't matter because this will be straight, and so we snap this here, we align this here, we parent. Okay, forgot to check the parents. Def shin, yes, this is correct. Yeah, all this seems correct. Yeah, remember I've done this already. Let's get then this helper. Okay, I'll try to make this straight, or sort of. So let's just align this one with this. No, align here. GY, so it's along normal still. The ankle, let's say it goes up here. So this parents to the def shin, this can parent to the def 3 foot. Okay. These names are incorrect. Let's change them. Okay, so let's just do this, Ctrl F2. So no. So instead of control ankle bendy bone handle end, now we're gonna change this to handles smoother ankle 002, and this is Ctrl F2. Let's add set name suffix 001 for both. Yeah, now this, okay, gonna snap here and snap here. The position here is completely wrong, so how to address this? I know, get this position, snap there, GY, reposition about, yeah, could be about here, and now we snap here, align with this deformed skeleton. Just double addressing this, align here. This we align with here, make sure it is snap there, and this snap there, and smooth ankle, yes, all except start tangent and absolute. And let's pick this setup and symmetrize, and then here we reset this, and that seems correct. Just symmetrize that. There we go. So I'm not testing this right now because I know they should help. They are helper bones. Of course they can destroy the rig if we don't do this correctly. And finally, for the smoother than anything else remaining here, parent, yeah, this setup, what we do this with this, we just parent this to the master COG, I guess. Copy to selected, right? And these are just some mapping bones, just to check something that I'm not using anymore, but maybe I find a new way to do this. We'll see this more ahead. Ah, yeah, these ones we need to position let's hide everything for now, and this side, yeah, I need to reposition these funny bones in relation to the upper joint. So they need to sort of match. So in this case we're gonna face here, include non-edited. We need hold control. So it's somewhere about, yeah, it's quite centralized. Could be a little more, but that should work. As for these ones, they all start. The idea is that they are funny bones. They are parent to this one. So this is a derotator. So this rotates, which is a parenting one, but this one rotates following the thigh, but the deformed skeleton of the thigh, but it derotates slightly. So the idea is that it can be the deformed bone, just as this opposed one, but these funny bones, there are 4 of them. Here will be very complicated to understand, but these funny bones, they are responsible for each one for one section of the. So this set here of mini bones, they are for the front side. That alone was for the inner side, just of the upper thigh. So we can manipulate this mesh in an automated way to solve some, try to improve some artifacts in a very sort of analytic way. And this is the pubis one, so this can help, but it's the upper type, so it can help preserve mesh or shape mesh. It's very difficult yet, but this can provide good results. So here for this area here is tricky, so I think it's still the side of the thigh, so we're gonna get about here. And finally, this is the back, and there are many of them in some cases, because this allows us to manipulate different sections of the same mesh, but one follows the other. One is parented the other, like a Russian doll, something like this. So they can be used in, they don't have to hold a lot of waves. So as they follow one each other by nature, by parenting on this, they will carry all as if it was a single deformed bone moving, but as we demand, we can push one, and each one has a slightly different wave painting, and so we can use this trick to keep the mesh consistent, and we can tweak the mesh in various ways without suffering too much from the ratios, waves influence from one bone, deformed bone or helper, was stealing too much waves from the mesh. Yeah, so this is a huge problem when we are doing this kind of work of rigging, of skinning with wave paintings, that we start to have a lot of bones with plenty of different influence and stealing waves from one region to another. This is nightmarish. So if we just have, I've presented this in a series, not a series, but there's a presentation, a few tutorials. I've made a playlist, you can look for it, where I show this method particularly. It's related to the pelvis rigging. It's not a tutorial, it's just a playlist of like full demonstration, something like that. So if interested, that is what I'm talking about here. And for this one, this is not buttocks leverage. This is buttocks leverage bone. So this is for the lower thigh or upper thigh on the back of the buttocks. So on the back of the body. So it should be around here, but I'm not sure this is the best positioning, so let's just tweak it here. Okay, so it's apparently all around this edge loop here, but not in the case of these others. Yeah, so there's another loop here, so maybe I should place it here. Yeah, and this, maybe we place it one loop upper. Yeah, this is won't make a lot of difference, but it can help sometimes. So here I'll make an exception. I don't have enough face loops, so this will be placed in a more, yes, somewhat here. And so this will control the upper thigh region of the joint of the hip thigh or hip pelvis femur joint. And so this will allow to control these things a little better. Alright, so now I think that's it. Oh, the parenting. Did we parent this thing? No, we didn't. So we need to parent this to probably the head bone. Yeah, so def1 head. I hope that will work, but then we reset this. This is a stretch and squash bone, so here we can pick this and also lock them, and there we go. So this was time consuming, but finally this all the helper bones for the body, not for the head. The head, well, yeah, the head doesn't have helper bones in the same sense. They have face bones, and we're gonna work on them. On that will be the other large topic. So here we're gonna, but I think now it's too late for me. We completed this one, helper rig adaptation. We didn't go for the bone constraint because this is, I'm really on the rest position here, the edit mode stuff, solving this by the root, right? And later, after we go on the bone constraint, which I find funnier than this. Face rig. Yeah, so the next topic will be face rig, so joint skeleton from Tuca, which is the important thing is that I'm progressing here. So this character here, so she has lot of face rigs. Let's check this, that I need to bring to this character. So let's see, it's the hair is not important because it has its own ear here. So there's a tongue, there's arcades, there's chin, there's jaws, there's lips, arcade, yeah, so eyes, ears, face. Yeah, so many systems, there are some things here are super valuable and some others which are not helper. Okay, so these are the bones that I want. And all eyes, oh yeah, there are more things here. All face lower, there's even more bones, okay. Quick lips, there are more. There's more. Okay, just to make sure. Face control, yeah. And these masters, they are not for the face, right? Yes. Alright, so all these bones here, I need to bring them to the also wasn't there something like, yeah, this, gonna bring this, gonna bring and yeah, irreversible molding, reuse and adapt. Yeah, already. This is from Tuka. So what we it is not in this character. I need to append it from another file. This was imported without these settings, but the skeleton I can use, right? So because this will be a gigantic topic here, I don't know where's, looks like there could be 100 bones here, maybe. No, I think less, but tons of bones indeed. So that's daunting, but it's a super rig. Of course, this is like that in partially because here I was relying on shrink wrap bone constraints for the facial rig and not the inverse sonic melt rig and other features, and not shrink wrap modifier. And this one I'll go full with the idea of economy that Blender allows inside Blender, so we get shrink wrap modifiers, and that will be much better. So I'll probably end up with lesser bones, I believe, but this facial rig is quite cool to develop. So after a lot of pain, so build latest setup. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. A lot of things to solve here, but yeah, when we get all the skeleton done and those things, have to start fixing the face. Then we go for the wave transfer, which will be, then we finally have the character deforming. So this is also a big topic, and then there's micro topics here. No, this is not so micro, but now it is, because this is bigger. So this is experimental, test, adapt, switch to my custom rig. Okay, and these are like more control rig details. Yeah, this will be the panel adjustments, and then the final stages before 3D animations. Yeah. Okay, folks, was it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope that was interesting. Please like, subscribe if you like the content, and see you next time. Every weekday I'll be doing this, hopefully, and yeah, I have the schedule there. It starts sooner on most days except Mondays and Thursday, which will keep the old time, which is 22 o'clock here, about that time. So see you soon, and happy blendering. Hope you're enjoying and this is being useful somehow. See ya, folks.